Isn't it strange how sometimes the moments that really stick aren't the ones padded in comfort, but the ones that hit like a fucking freight train? Because you already know. When someone swears at you unexpectedly, or when you laugh at the wrong moment, or when life jolts you sideways out of nowhere, there's that split second where the brain stalls, doesn't it? Like a computer freezing mid-load. And in that gap, new information sneaks in, like a software update slipping past the firewall. And isn't it funny how you've already lived this? Remember the time someone told you the brutal truth, and it stung like hell. You hated them for it at first, and yet, years later, you realised that sting became the turning point. That jolt was sticky, wasn't it? Like emotional glue. And haven't you noticed how laughter in pain rewires the moment? Like when you were crying and suddenly something absurd cracked you open. And for a second, you weren't crying anymore. You were free. That's the brain's little doorway of plasticity. Confusion, openness, suggestion, integration. And you've done it naturally, many times, without even knowing. And right now, you can learn to do it consciously, effortlessly, automatically. So from this moment forward, anytime you feel the urge to soften the blow, a part of you will also remember, comfort doesn't change people, jolts do. And isn't it true that when you surprise someone just right, you interrupt their predictive code? Like scratching the record so the song skips. Like knocking over a child's block tower so they suddenly rethink how they build. Like slapping the snooze button so loud it wakes the whole house. And while their brain is blinking wide open, you can drop in a new suggestion. One that lands so deep their nervous system tattoos it in chemical ink. Adrenaline, dopamine, cortisol, seared into long-term memory. Haven't you realised that you can already do this? With a laugh, a swear, a paradox, a story, a truth that they weren't expecting. So right now, let your unconscious mind reorganise itself around these truths. Shock opens the door. Truth delivered in the cracks gets remembered forever. Emotion is the glue of learning. Confusion is compassion. It's the way to break the loop. And from now on, whenever you hear someone spiralling into bullshit loops, victimhood, addiction, identity cages, you'll notice yourself naturally interrupting, maybe with humour, maybe with a swear, maybe with a sharp question that makes them blink. And in that blink, you'll slip in the upgrade, calmly, clearly, boldly. And you can already imagine what happens when you make this your way of being. Conversations shift, people remember you. Not because you coddled, because you carved. Lives change, destinies flip. People curse your name one day and thank you the next. And you can also imagine the opposite. If you don't step into this, life calcifies. You keep nodding politely, while loved ones drown in the same loops. You collude with mediocrity, and regret grows heavy. And isn't it so much better to bear the sting of being remembered than the rot of being forgotten? So right now that you take this in, feel your identity realigning. You're the one who shocks awake. You're the glitch in the matrix, the skip in the record, the slap of the sensei. You're the catalyst. You're the truth that burns so it can heal. Because shock isn't cruelty, it's sacred surgery. And confusion isn't chaos, it's the doorway of transformation. And every time you feel that doorway open, in you or in someone else, you'll remember. This is the moment. This is where change happens. This is who I am. And your unconscious can continue to integrate this now in the background, like a software update installing silently, until the next time you open your mouth and the right words, shocking and true, spill out naturally, automatically, perfectly timed.